Okay, welcome to round one of the first losers segment. These are the highest rated and lowest rated beers of the losers in the first round of the 32 beer initial challenge. And we're dealing with Hofbräu, 5.1 ABV, a Hell's Lager against Old Milwaukee, an adjunct lager with 4.6 ABV. Surprisingly, Hofbräu lost in the first round to Corona, which put it in the loser bracket. It's the first losers. And of course, Old Milwaukee went up against Weihenstephaner, and not surprisingly, it lost. So, are we going to have another surprise here? I don't know. It was surprising to me that Hofbräu lost to an adjunct lager, Corona. But we'll see, because Corona does pretty well, in my experience, among adjunct lagers. And Old Milwaukee, well, I don't know, it's the lowest rated beer. So we're going to see. There should be a difference. All right, now let's get down to it. Smooth, crisp, good finish, good flavor. It doesn't really have that adjunct lager finish that I seem to be familiar with. But I kind of like Old Milwaukee, so I think that it should be rated higher than it was on the beer sites. So we could pull off another upset here. Okay, now, this is interesting. I can't tell which one of these is the adjunct lager. They both taste very similar. They both have a good crisp taste and a decent flavor going in. But generally speaking, that adjunct lager flavor comes in at the finish and most of the time. Well, there's really, I don't know which one is which. There seems to be a little bit of foam on this one, so I didn't see which one had the foam before I started mixing them up. Took note. So I still don't know which is which. I think I might be getting that adjunct lager finish on this one. I'm not sure. Generally, with the adjunct lagers, the first few drinks is good, but the more you drink of it, kind of the worse it gets until you start feeling the effects of alcohol and then it starts tasting better. It starts tasting watery. For a minute there, I thought that this one was the weaker of the two, but now I'm thinking this is the weaker of the two. So it's tough, it really is. Is Hofbräu really not that good? I'm thinking this one has more flavor. Yeah. Definitely. This one is definitely a bit more watery, weaker tasting than this one. But this one seems to be having that, maybe that powdery or that cardboardish finish that's common in adjunct lagers, in my opinion. So the question is, which one do I want to drink another one of? It's really tough to decide. So I'm thinking this is stronger, more flavorful. This one's weaker in comparison, more watery. See, this one seems to be having a bit more carbonation in it. Although I can't really, well, I guess you can taste it when you say it's more watery, smoother. So that was not bad. Not a bad aftertaste either. Whereas this one does have more of an aftertaste, but it's not necessarily a bad aftertaste. Are we going to see Hofbräu lose its second one in a row? It'll be surprising. It'll be an upset. Yeah, not much taste in that one. But definitely some more flavor there. This one, you know, getting down to this little last bit here. This one seems to be holding up better. I guess if I was going to have to pick another one to drink, it would probably be this one, which is the Hofbräu. Alright, so Old Milwaukee has experienced 2 losses in a row. Hofbräu goes on to the winner's circle. So it's going to continue on in the loser bracket, whereas Old Milwaukee is going to go down to the second loser bracket. Now, what's next in the loser bracket? Sapporo Premium against Miller Genuine Draft, and I'm pretty sure I know who's going to win that one because I don't like Miller Genuine Draft. So that's one thing. That's one contest I'll probably know right away which is which. But surprisingly, I think Old Milwaukee gave Hofbräu a run for its money. Old Milwaukee, as far as adjunct lagers go, in my opinion, isn't that bad. Probably one of the better ones. That Pabst and Corona are decent. So it's going to be interesting to see how this turns out. Especially when we start getting the adjunct lagers going against each other. And when we get these European beers going against each other, it's going to be tough to decide. And this one was kind of tough to decide, but it took just about the whole glass before I finally settled on Hofbräu. So, round 1 of the first loser segment is in the books.